Beast of Animaniacs is absolutely terrible, but the first episode's got the most real song imaginable. It's called Reboot It. I almost half tempted to look it up on YouTube, but I don't know if we get copyright strike. But basically, the whole song is talking about how Hollywood ran out of ideas, so they're rebooting everything.
Well, I mean, we started in on Disney. I mean, that's pretty much when they started going downhill, when they started doing live action movies of their freaking cartoons. Most of the cartoons which have been redone, and it's like, holy crap, come up with something new.
Yeah. And those really jumped the shark with Lion King. Like once they made Lion King, it's like, okay, guys, what are you doing?
I mean, admittedly, like Disney they have very seldomly come up with something new. Like a lot of even the older properties were based off of fairy tale stories prior. And then Disney acquired the rights to them and Disney-fied them. Not all, but a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the vast majority.
I think a lot of them were in public domain when they.
I think that's right. They were in public domain. Yes.
Well, the vast majority back in the old days, vast majority of them were books that were already out there, like Mary Poppins. And I remember I had one when I was a kid, and it's a real rare one. Probably can't find it anymore. It was about a family that owned pet alligators. And the only reason why I remember it is because we had the soundtrack from it on vinyl. That's how old this was. Back in the days where your phonograph was like, 6 feet wide and 4 feet tall and contained all tubes.
And so you're either very, very old or like a hipster. Like
I'm very old.
I can't wait for the live action Rescuers Down Under.
And I'm too fat for skinny jeans.
I want live action Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
It's called
Dude, I was so confused.
That show was awesome.
Dude, I was so confused as a kid when they kept calling the Chip and Dale dancers because I was like, the fuck are you guys talking? Because my parents would be like joking about it, and I'm like, no, they're chipmunks. They live in a tree. They like I had no clue. And then when I got older, I was like, the fuck did they name it that for?
There's actually a movie out about that too.
There's also a cult based around Gadget in Russia.
Inspector Gadget?
Oh, goodness. No. They were talking about Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Oh, that Gadget. Sorry.
There is a micro cult. I believe it's in Russia. It was meant to be a meme that became too serious.
All right. If they could pull it off. And so obviously, let's just assume good storytelling here, good story start to finish, okay? Because I have to throw that out there. Do you think they could the CG could work well enough? They could do a live action Gargoyles and make it good. Like, let's just assume. Yeah. Let's just assume that the story is good.
It will, and the
could
reason
they
it will
make the actual live action good?
Yes, the reason I can tell you this is because CGI works best, that kind of CGI, in darkness. Yep. And Gargoyles has the ultimate excuse for darkness. They're only come to life at night. You'd have to literally suck CGI.
I was about to say they could probably do the CGI, but the make it good thing, I don't know.
Okay.
I think you're going one step too far there.
Whoa. I mean, they're gonna fucking do it. No, that was another show that Disney tried to bury too.
Gargoyles?
Only if Chip is played by Juicy Smollett.
They had an amazing cast for Gargoyles. They had an amazing cast.
It's because it was Star Trek.
People. It was, and Keith David.
It's all right. I'm watching.
David has now. I'm just gonna be worried. Just very skeptical of. After watching Strange Worlds, I'm done. That was just bad.
I dodged a bullet. I didn't watch it.
I don't watch most of this stuff. I just skip it.
The only Disney film, not counting the Pixar film, the only Disney film I presently own in my collection is Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Oh, that's a good one. That was an underrated film. Didn't make a lot of money when it came out.
I don't like that movie.
Nobody cares, Royce.
I just can't get into it. Well, and like my favorite animated film of all time is Treasure Planet.
I love Treasure
bar
Planet.
none.
Which came out right after this.
I know.
That one
I know,
was better.
I know. And
Too bad
even
it's
as a kid, I mean, don't get me wrong, like Atlantis was like, but there's always just something off with me. There's just something about
Treasure Planet's great. I enjoy both equally, to be honest. I just haven't gone around
Treasure Planet and Iron Giant were my go-tos.
Now let me throw an oddball out there and say Sinbad. Wasn't made by Disney, but I just want to throw it out there.
No, I believe that was DreamWorks, and that was a blast.
Sinbad.
I just
Sinbad.
I think one of my favorite Disney productions. I actually watched a lot more of their live action growing up, and they made a fair amount of live action. I think this one was Disney. Homeward Bound. You guys remember that one about the talking dog?
It was Disney.
Yes,
it was.
I liked Homeward
Was it
Bound.
the one with Michael J. Fox and the guy, old guy from Cocoon?
My kids just got done watching that. We've got Homeward Bound on DVD.
It's great.
So
at least I remember it being great growing up.
It's still not bad. It's really still not bad. That's kind of one of those movies that it aged well.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that because I was literally watching it like a few months ago.
In the early 2000s, we were getting the greatest 2D animated films ever made. Not one of the best. I mean, you look at it, there was a chain there. Atlantis, Treasure Planet, you had Sinbad, as mentioned, Prince of Egypt, that was 98. Yeah. Iron Giant, which was
what was that movie with the Power Man 5000 soundtrack? It was animated.
Power Man 5000
soundtrack. Matt Damon played a main character. A few humans living in space, looking to find a new Earth.
Titan.
I got nothing.
Yes, I love the soundtrack.
This is what happened.
Matt Damon.
2000, roughly, all of these 2D animated films came out, and they were big investments by these companies, and they all consecutively bombed. Titan AE in particular killed Fox Animation.
Well, they did because of the marketing, because they were burying. Because, dude, Disney did everything that they could to bury Treasure Planet. They put it in theaters up against, I believe it was the Chamber of Secrets.
Wow.
Same weekend.
Yeah.
No, they didn't want it to succeed. And Treasure Planet, I believe, was one of those movies that was like a passion project from like the director. He wanted to make it happen, and Disney, and there was like, it was like, oh, we want you to create this movie, and that movie, oh god.
Lilo and Stitch was an accident and came out the same time period.
2002.
No, and it was because they didn't know what they. Well, Disney notoriously never fucking knows what they have.
Much like the Lion King was a happy accident. That B team was doing Lion King. The A team was on Pocahontas.
And how long did it take them to realize they could do merchandising with Grogu?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. They were like Etsy shops were selling out of crocheted freaking baby Yodas because they didn't even have a name.
Spaceballs, the lunchbox. Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
The kids love this one.
Merchandising.
Yeah. And Jose.
I don't know. I still
from El Dorado all the way, dude.
Emperor's New Groove. Nobody realized how popular that one was.
That one was hysterical.
I love this double break the fourth wall when he had to yell at himself at his own narration.
Hey, Jose is Iris. Is she the main villain from Sinbad? I just remember the main villain was hot as shit as a kid.
I don't think I've ever seen the movie Sinbad.
I mean, they're bringing back another show. I'm not sure how you guys feel about Mike Judd bringing back his old shows, but he's bringing back. Yeah, go ahead. If he brings a
dude, I'm hopeful for the new King of the Hill. I shouldn't be.
But he's doing Beavis and Butthead right. And Butthead is
I like, dude. If he can do King of the Hill, like, I shouldn't be excited for King of the Hill.
It's not the first time they brought back Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, it's a second. And he's been doing him right. And if he can kill it with King of the Hill, I mean, wow,
that'd be great.
I don't know, man. Disney's killing Simpsons worse.
Yeah, Simpsons actually used to be entertaining.
Yeah, really.
Same with Family
Simpsons
Guy.
Hasn't been entertaining since like the 10th season, give or take.
That's a lot of
Disney's also killed Family Guy too.
I always felt that American Dad never got a fair shake because that show was just a better show than Family Guy, hands down.
I didn't watch much of it.
I went back and forth on those two depending on my mood. Sometimes Family Guy was what I was looking for. Other times American Dad hit the spot.
There's a great bit where he takes his son to a reenactment and they go to the old folks home and it's a Vietnam reenactment. And they have like the red highlighter to be like knives.
Yeah, I know. Like... it was, I remember that. That was so fucking good. That's where I get my Roger voice from, man, is I love that show so fucking much. And just like, they would push boundaries in shit that you're like, wow.
I hope they don't bring back Futurama again.
Hope is for sweatshop children. Jose. What kind of
edgy, man?
What kind of nihilistic grimdarks have you been watching?
You know that guy works a terrible job.
Is he wrong though?
Don't confuse the issue with facts.
He's been getting a little too close to the Adekiano.
No, see, Hope is for Star Wars fans.
Oh fuck! I know, right?
Family.
There's no crying in baseball.
Actually, I don't have much room to talk there because one of the alien cultures in my universe, they have a saying: "Hope is a fool's currency."
Ooh.
They're a very skeptical culture.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see. You know, that was the other thing. I totally forgot. That was the other thing Disney had going back in the day. You want to talk about live action? The first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the first one was great.
I mean, that was
still good to this day.
Who the hell thought that movie? I still like the first three, but the first one obviously is the best.
It's like when you leave the creators their own devices, they make good content.
Whoa.
Who would have thought?
Let's not
hot dog mac and cheese.
I wouldn't.
No. You want a good mac and cheese, you gotta do lobster mac. Fuck that hot dog shit, you gotta do lobster mac.